I'm going to be showing us how to build a CCM worship atmosphere that, can just be rich, and you have that ambience, people soaking, people praying, people meditating, just with, few patches that I use. All right, let's hear what I have already set up in this session. So you can hear that very rich ambience, that atmosphere that we can actually use. People can soak in, people can worship, people can pray. You can also have it for writing songs. Okay, this is something I just put together, but I'm going to show you how to build stuff like this or create something like this from scratch. Now I have everything here in this session, both in the wave files and also the MIDI. So I'll get to show you some of the plugins that I use to create stuff like this. And in case you also need the MIDI files, to set up for yourself, just leave in the comment section and I would have it sent to you. Okay, so pretty much let me script this down. And the first thing I would want to set up is my piano. And the piano I'm using here is the Steinway and Sons piano. Okay, this is a very beautiful piano. I love to use it. Very lovely, very rich. So I use the Steinway and Sons piano, and I have my progression set up like this. So now for this piano, there are a couple of things I actually added to make it sound like this. I used the one knob stereo. If you're familiar with this um, effect, it's a wetter effect. Actually, what it's doing is just to add more space, more reverb to the piano. So having it just to have that ambience. So that's practically what it's adding to this piano. Then the next thing I like to do is to come up with a pad. Now, the pad, what this pad is going to be doing here is actually just going to be mirroring what the piano is doing. So for some persons, they would like to have their pad, layer their pad with their piano where everything is going at the same time. That can work. Another way I do it is just to get another patch whereby I just copy, the MIDI file that I used on the piano and put it down on this um, um, patch. And in this case, what I'm using here is the ambient seeds from the synthage, the contact synthage, the very beautiful sound. It just gives depth to that piano. Listen to it. So, and with the pad, because the nature of this particular pad, it has a lot of low end. So I just rolled off the low end up to almost 100 hertz. So um that's then I have another pad that I'm using here again. And this pad I'm using from the Hillsong pads. The Hillsong pads. I don't know if you're actually familiar with this pad, but it's one of my best VST plugins when it comes to creating CCM ambience, worship moments. It's just amazing. I love to use this VST plugin. In case you need this, you can just leave the comments section on the comment section below, and I will drop the link for you to get this Hillsong pads. All right. So, but from here, I'm using the gray sand. Now, there's a way this gray sand sounds. I use it pretty much to just sustain. So if you look at the MIDI file here, you discover that you just have a straight line, just almost like a straight line going up there, and that's just because I'm sustaining with the sustaining three notes. I'm playing a source chord here. Okay, I'm playing a source chord here. So that gives you that sustaining sound that you hear. So listen to it, added to what we have going on. So there's that crystalline ambience that is just given to the whole texture. And if you notice, that's actually what I used to start off the play. Sometimes I also like to use it to introduce section because of the crystalline nature. Okay. Then I have another pad going on here, still from the Hillsong pad, and this pad is the Blissechic W. So I'm just playing, some chords to boost what I have on the progression. So, but I'm playing it on the high end. So if you attentive, you would hear them or the chords come up, and it's sustaining. It's more like it's rising because the nature of the pad, it's a rising pad. Okay, it's a rising pad. So all this from Hillsong pad. Listen to it. Let me solo this pad so you get to hear what it's like. So, and the very last thing I'm doing here is using the acoustic guitar. The acoustic guitar, I'm using the Ilia Form acoustic guitar. Um, Very nice guitar that I like to use for worship moments like this. And with that guitar, I'm actually doing a stereo field widening. I'm adding some delay to it. I'm adding some reverb to it as well. But normally, the way this guitar is going to sound normally is just going to sound normally as an acoustic guitar, as an acoustic guitar. But I'm adding some basic tweaks and effects to it. Um, I'm using my guitar strum box here. Uh, Here I have the chorus set up, I have the delay set up, and I have a lovely reverb I also like to use, which is the spring reverb. Then also on this channel, I have my imager just to widen the guitar, just to widen the guitar. So alone, you have the guitar sound like this. So it has that very wet, natural, let's say natural or wet ambience kind of uh feel that just boosts up your worship moment. So together, everything we have it going. So and that's how to build a CCM worship atmosphere or ambience, for prayer, for meditation, for songwriting, depending on what, you know, you you feel led to do. Okay. Um, if you need some of these patches, that I use here, just leave a comment in the comment section and I'm going to drop links for you on how to get them. Okay. And if also this teaching and this tutorial has blessed you, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit your notification bell so that you get notified as I'll be dropping teachings and tutorials on stuff like this. All right. Until next time, guys, remain blessed. See you next time.